Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Behaalotecha. The question of the week is, what lesson can we learn from the sun? So this week's Torah portion, Parsha Behaalotecha, we're going to learn from the Zohar. And the Zohar says when the sun starts shining, it starts in from the top. Then from there it spreads out all over the whole body. And then it goes to both sides, Tzafon and Dorim, and north and south, and Yamina and Smoila, right and left. So the Rebbe's father asked, 1 second, if it says Tzafon and Dorim, why is it the right and left? It's technically the same thing. Also, when Tzafon, it starts with the north and then the south, and right and left, it's the opposite. It starts with the right and then the left. The Rebbe's father explains, and he says as follows. When the sun starts shining, it starts shining in the Mizrach, in the east. And then, if you're standing east and you're facing west, so then when you go to the north, then that's actually your right, and the south is actually the left. The Rebbe explains, what does this mean practically? The Rebbe says like this. What's the whole idea of the Shemesh? The difference between the Shemesh, the sun, and the moon is, the sun gives off light. The moon receives the light. So in other words, what's the Zohar teaching us? That we have to, every single state from the beginning, start out from Mizrach, from the east, we start giving off light. And we cover the right, and we cover the left, every area. Until even the evening, Ma'ariv means in the west, but also means from the evening, means the end of the day. And what does Ma'ariv also mean? It's an eruv, it's a mix, because once it gets dark, you can't tell the difference between dark and light. Even when a place where you can tell the difference between dark and light, over there the sun also gives off light. And specifically from Ma'ariv, when you can tell the difference between dark and light, and you give off light there, that's how you create Ma'ariv. Is another word, it comes from sweetness. You create the greatest, sweetest things by taking darkness and turning it into light. So the answer to the question, what lesson can we learn from the sun? Our job is always to give off light. From the morning when life is great, the right part of our day, the left part of our day, whatever we're dealing with. And specifically in the evening, which means when things are dark, it's not so clear. Our job is to give off light, and that will create the greatest sweetness. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to memory of Baruch Ben Ari Leib, Shlomo Yosef, Rachel Baslipa, Tzina Basara. May the souls be elevated with Torah studying in the memory. For more information, please see our website, Chabad, swf.org. Have a great and blessed week. Shavua Tov.